Yo guys, what's up? I'm in a new phase of my life. I'm full brained on League of Legends right now. I don't know exactly why a lot of people that I like and hang out with have started playing League, and I felt like finally embarking on that journey as well. So let me know right away in the comments if you would like to see me do any League of Legends yaps, because I'm gonna have things to say, but I'm wondering if you guys are interested in it. But for now, first, I'm going to be doing a preview of a new patch notes for Warcraft 3. Remember that game? I'm not playing it a lot right now, but it's going to be coming back again. It always does because I love that game. But it's nice to sometimes have different arcs. And I'm on my League of Legends practice arc. I went from Bronze 3 to Gold 3 so far, and who knows how far we'll go. Maybe we'll go down again to Silver and we'll be Heartstock. We'll see how it is. But it's a lot of fun getting into the game. But first, let's go check out the Warcraft 3 patch notes. What has Blizzard cooked up? And this came out yesterday night at the end of my stream, and I have succeeded not to get spoiled on anything, but I've heard the changes are pretty crazy. Now, to be clear, none of these changes are live yet. They're gonna be live once they finally make it to live server. But right now, they're on the public test region, which is what PTR stands for. So let's go check it out. Game servers. The following changes have already been applied to both live and PTR servers. Custom game lobby advertisement now properly time out 15 minutes after the most recent player has joined or left. Good. No more ghost lobby creations. That's always nice. This timer resets every time a player joins or leaves. Okay, so it could still last pretty long, a lingering fake lobby. I wonder if there should also be a timeout based on the host making, even if many people leave and join. Let's be real. If a person hosts a game and over the course of the next 30 minutes, people leave and join all the time, but the host never starts the game, does he still have the right to keep that lobby open beyond 30 minutes? Or could he maybe remake it? I don't know. I feel like maybe they should remake it and it should be closed after 30 minutes. Just to kind of stop trolls. Because I've of course never done this, but some people they may host a game and then they go AFK and they never host. And then you join, it's like, okay, go, 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 go. But then they never go because they're not actually there, they're sleeping. Fixed an issue where some players with classic keys were having licensing problems. Yeah, I heard about that actually. That's pretty bad. Some people actually thought Blizzard did that on purpose. That if you have a classic key, which does give you access to a reforged license, that you were suddenly being cucked on it and it was being taken away. Blizzard would not do that on purpose. That would be preposterous. It would be preposterous. Fixed an issue where custom game invites were not working properly. All right, all right. I've had that issue. Replace the main menu and campaign WebM backgrounds with MDL renders. Okay, someone tell me, how big is this? Because I feel like it might be big. I have no idea what MDL is, but I know that there was criticism on the WebM background style. It runs on Chrome. It looked bad, bad loop, huge performance gain. Okay, let's get some confirms on that and see if that's true. It's huge. No idea. Holy, that's huge. No idea. Oh my god, MDL. I have no idea. Okay, none of you know. You're just all saying huge because you like huge things. Okay, I got a huge thing for you right here. The rest of the patch notes. Fixed certain visual effects appearing as white squares in classic HD mode. Okay. Tree idle animation now. Okay. Reforged environment. I don't care. I don't use it. Fixed a few model files which were not correctly being included with the game. Fixed an issue where music would overlap with music from a saved game. Added a new ability. Amgi. This ability prevents bouncing missile attacks from bouncing to and from structures. What? The implementation of this ability is not fully complete. Will be improved before release. Okay, maybe this is for world editor people, right? Like not relevant to me. At least not in the creation of, maybe in the playing of custom maps. Mouse buttons are now bindable while changing hotkeys when in a game. Nice. Removed hotkeys for passives. Nice. Useless, right? This happens when you do like a direct port of all existing abilities and you port them, but you didn't do it manually. You know what I mean? Okay. Hotkeys for learning passive abilities do still exist. The team is aware of an issue with resistant skin and hardened skin hotkeys still appearing. Okay. Unlinked peasant and militia hotkey conflict detection. Okay. Fixed an issue with players being unable to drag scroll. Yeah, we had that issue, right? Couldn't middle mouse button. As a result of this, scroll click is now not bindable. Oh, that's why it happened. I see. Fixed implementation of the toggle health bar hotkeys. Updated help menu to show control group hotkeys. Okay. Updated help menu. All right. Well, we're going to have to test and see that. Change the ordering of mercenaries so it's possible to assign core to every camp without conflict. Nice. Remove Pocket Factory from the list of neutral buildings. Coded as a building, not actually one, though it can be repaired, right? But cannot be pillaged. Removed select unit ability from the tavern. Okay. Yeah, irrelevant actually. Doesn't matter who's hiring it so long as it is hiring. Fixed an issue where hero select and inventory keys were not detecting conflicts. Oh, nice. This was a find from Arthas. From Arthas. There's a sub in my channel. True Arthas? He found this. And I forwarded this. Oh, True King. True King. It's you, True King. Yeah. Added nether. You use the Arthas emote so much. The Arthas emote so much, True King, that I actually thought of you as Arthas. I thought of you as Grub Arthas. Added nether dragon roost to neutral buildings. MMR gains and losses are now doubled in multiplayer. There are extra notes in the master change list explaining MMR changes. Okay. General P. Whoa! Holy! Can you believe this, Logan? That's big. Piercing damage against heavy armor decreased from 100% damage to 90%. Oh my god. That's 10%. That's a massive change. As many of you may know, piercing damage dominates in Warcraft 3, and many heavy armor units that should be, in theory, countering piercing units are not doing so appropriately. The Warcraft 3 counters are pretty soft sometimes. So, like, we're living in a game, in a world where riflemen beat grunts. Riflemen beat torrents. There is no torrent rush that exists that can beat mass rifle with no other units. Grunts, mass grunt shaman, only barely beat archers. Mass archer, just mass archers. You could go 20 grunts and people are not going to counter it with talents or chimera. They'll just make more archers. It was pretty crazy. And headhunters, of course, beat footmen. Headhunters often beat grunts. Abominations are not beating rifles like they used to back in 2003 when people's micro was worse. Very interesting. 10% damage reduction. Am I saying that right? Or is it like 11? I don't know. But it's pretty big. So, wait. That means ghouls are getting better against headhunters as well. Maybe that's okay. Wait. Oh my god. Wyverns are worse against ghouls. Wyverns are worse against ghouls. Ghouls are weak as hell. Yeah, except when you're happy, right? Or Jesus. Same thing. Yeah, for most people, ghouls are weak. Bears counter wyverns even more than before? That's interesting. What other piercing are common? We sometimes have some rifle or headhunter against bears. Interesting. I like the change though. I like it. Fix the crash that occurred when selecting a structure that had its construction or production paused. Yeah. If you frozen breathed or if you stopped building a farm or your building was frozen breath, if you clicked it, it did some kind of probably multiplication by 0 because the build time was infinite and it made the game crash when you clicked it and saw it. Huntress glaives will no longer bounce to and from structures. I heard about this suggestion before. So now Huntress can no longer be used to murder peasants and peons that are repairing buildings. I personally don't like this change. I think Huntress are still pretty niche. even despite the heavy armor buff, which I thought was going to be dominating, but I don't think it is dominating, actually. I think Huntress, just like Mutalisk in StarCraft, their special niche is that they're really good at base trading and killing workers. Not bouncing to and from structures, I think is a L change, a boring change, that makes them so much worse. I don't think it's an unexpected mechanic for newer players. I think, look, liquid fire, bat riders prevent repair, and you can think of Huntress as preventing repair or having high attrition on your workers if you actually do repair. They're too easy to play anyway. Yeah, but I think Huntress games are quite fun from both sides. It gives them a special personality. Animate dead units will now inherit upgrades they had when they were killed. The team is aware of an issue where passives are not being transferred upon reanimation. Reminder, we tested this last time. This means you can Blood Castle, or Blood Fortress anyway. You can animate dead a peon and build a Great Hall. And the animate dead 40-second timer will get paused while he's building. So he can finish the Great Hall and then do another 35 seconds of things. It's pretty sick. Brewmaster Breath of Fire damage overtime. Okay. I still don't like what they did to Breath of Fire. I'm going to make a very, very rough drawing. There's better drawings out there. There's better artists out there than I am. But basically, they made some changes where they quote-unquote fixed Breath of Fire. Breath of Fire looks like it is this big. But it was actually this big. And they said this was an error. So now they made it this big. And in order to compensate for how much smaller it is, they will give it 10 bonus damage. Or in other words, something like, I don't know, 12%. So I don't think that's an accurate recompense for this massive reduction of area that is now lost. So it got significantly worse. And it was quite important to deal with Paladin Rifle for Orc in the current meta. It's Farseer, Panda, and then Shadow third, or Firelord third, but usually Shadow these days. Brewmaster got a lot faster, so they're like, hey, he's going to be in a better position for it. I think they're fixing something that didn't need fixing. I think they should just make the animation bigger. It's true that the discrepancy between visual effect of the ability and the actual effect is very confusing for players if you're not already familiar with it, which is what a grandfathered player would be familiar with, but a new player would not. So it is new player friendly, but it's not adequate recompense. And they could have just tried to make the animation bigger, but maybe that's harder than just to reduce the area. I don't know. But yeah, I think it should remain as big as it was. Make the graphic bigger. Custom game lobby advertisements now time out. This is all changes. So this is with all from before. Okay, so it's not actually that big of a note. The biggest one being heavy armor now taking less damage from piercing. Very interesting. Yeah, I'm curious to check it out. Okay, guys, remember to leave me comments if you would be interested in some League content as well on this Grubby Talks channel, and also just giving you a little bit of information. If you haven't seen it yet, Warcraft 3 is coming to Game Pass. There's a video that I will link. There's a video that I will link so that you can watch it. This is actually on the official World of Warcraft channel, which is kind of cool. I cooked this up in secret, and we released this video 4 days ago. And also, if you're interested in Heroes of the Storm, they have a new patch today as well. So Blizzard, Activision, Microsoft games are eating pretty well. Looks like there are a lot of changes. When I get back to HOTS, I'll be curious to see some of these. They're working on all the games. It's very cool to see. Okay, see you. Bye.